Well, one of the first things that happens on any Ignatian retreat, whether it's an ISP or any other kind, is telling your story. We start out with introducing ourselves to each other, and then you come into the group and you introduce that person to the group. And the basis of Ignatian spirituality, on just a very surface level, it certainly is more than this, but it's telling God who you are.
One of the things that made me feel comfortable is when he said, pretend that God is sitting next to you. What would you say to him? And I had just never experienced a question like that before. But because of my surroundings and because of the other women that were there at the retreat that made me feel comfortable, I was able to just breathe and relax and open up.
But the one thing I realized when I left the retreat was that something had happened to me as a result of seeing men who had come from similar backgrounds to me, men who were struggling in the same ways that I was, begin to come together. Before the retreat, we were as strangers. After we retreat, we were as brothers.
The reason I knew or know that this does make a difference, I get lost very easily, and so I always leave extra early. So I left early to go to the shelter to pick up a woman, and I was going in the wrong direction, and instead of being a half hour early, I got there 5 minutes before I was supposed to pick her up. She was very sullen, she was very quiet. I told her about my stupidity of getting lost. Nothing, no response. I talked to rocks, and this young woman didn't answer. Alternately, when I took her home, I didn't have a chance to speak because she never stopped. And if anything showed that that weekend made a difference to her, that did.
And I said, how'd it go? He was glowing.
It went well, but I was glad to see Bill again.